Statements are third and final building block of JavaScript that we left to explore, since in the previous two videos we have taken a look at other two building blocks, which were values and expressions. So what are the statements? Statements are instructions to a computer to do something. So we can say that any JavaScript program is essentially just a sequence of statements. Also, we can say that thanks to JavaScript syntax, statements have some sort of slots where we can put expressions. But since we have also said that programming is a very practical thing, let's dive in and explore statements in action. To help us with exploration, previous time we have used a tool called REPL, which you were able to find in the developer tools of your browser. This time, just to make it a bit easier, I have created a project in online IDE. IDE stands for Interactive Development Environment, and this is actually the special type of application that understands programming language and helps us to write code. This is actually the tool that we're gonna use all the time from now on. I will give you a really brief tour, so you will find the link to this IDE in the description below. Just to give you the idea, when we open the link provided in the description below, we will end up on this page. So here we can see a project structure. We can ignore it for now because we don't really care about this project structure for what we're gonna do here. If we would be writing a website, this is where that website would have been rendered, but we're not writing website, we're just learning JavaScript for now. This is the console. The console is the same we have found before in the developer tools. Even if we open developer tools here by using a shortcut, we will get basically the same values as we would have received in this console as well. So here we see console was cleared, and here we see console was cleared. So we really don't need to use browsers one here. We can just use this one. So to make things look a bit nicer, I will move it over here like that. And also I have closed the project by just clicking on this icon here so that it doesn't distract us. Zoom in a little bit, push it over here. Now we are ready to look at the statements. So here's the first example of a statement. This statement called var declaration. Var declaration allows us to create a variable. Variable is sort of like a label that is associated with a particular value. So if we will use x somehow, let's try to print it. So we can type console log 5 and we will get 5, but we can also type x and we will still get 5. Here another example of statement, if statement. If statement is where we want to introduce some condition for our logic to go one way or another way. Here we say whenever x is more than 1, and in our case x is 5, we will execute all the statements defined in this block. So this block is called block statement, and this part called if statement. So we can see that if statement has this if keyword followed by expression in bracket. If here will be false, then we do not print 5 anymore. So let's get back to what we had before. So whenever x is more than 1, we will print x. This statement called function declaration statements. Now you probably wonder, so what is the difference between statements and expressions? Let's take a look at the expressions we have used before, especially in the previous video. We had an expression 1 + 1. We had an expression with a string hello. We have also used this type of some value expression to find out what is the type of that value. So there are two things you can do to find out if something is an expression. One thing you can try to do is to assign that thing to a variable. Here we try to assign 1 + 1 to a variable sum, like we did with x equal fine. Here we declare a variable called sum, and we assign, instead of 5, we assign it 1 + 1. So computer is not angry with us, and meaning we can assign to a variable. So it's an expression. 1 plus 1 is an expression. Same happens with a string. We assign it to a variable. We declare a variable greetings and assign hello string to it. Here, double quotation marks were replaced by single quotation marks, but we said that string is the set of characters wrapped with double or single quotation marks, as long as they match. Finally, we have another variable called foundType, to which we assigned the value, which was result of this type of object, empty object expression. So it works. And another way you can do it is that if you can print it, it's an expression. Console log 1 plus 1, we can print it. We get 2 here, meaning it's an expression. Hello, we can print it. It's an expression again. And type of empty object, we got object back. Again, we can print it. So it's an expression. Otherwise, it's a statement or just invalid JavaScript. If it can be assigned to a variable or printed, it's an expression. If it cannot be assigned or printed, then it's a statement. Or it also can be just invalid JavaScript. And then we need to find out what's wrong there going on. And now, my congratulations. You learn all 3 building blocks of the JavaScript language: values, expressions, and statements. So in the next video, we will use information we learned so far, which is values, expressions, and statements, and we will learn about variables. Meanwhile, I recommend you to go in the link in the description below and check out that project, and also look for exercises that I have left. So you can really strengthen your today's knowledge about statements and expressions and what is the difference between the two by playing around in that online IDE. See you in the next video.